So I guess I'll just welcome everyone to Karthritis. Am I pronouncing that right, Joe?
Karthritis, yeah, that sounds good.
All right, all right. Okay, so this is new again. This is new for the third time, I guess. But first off, before we explain the show or anything, just let's see who's with us today and go around the room. So, Dan, would you start us off?
Yes, I am Dan_H.
And who are you? All right, well, I am Joe Reinreb, and my claim to fame is WWF No Mercy Survival Mode Champion.
All right.
I'm KVD. My claim to fame is photo finish at SGDQ with Neo.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's a good one, for sure. All right, so I'm Sargoth. I did stuff in the past. And now I'm back. So get ready.
It into one day, it looks impressive.
Yeah, well, that's a brilliant quote.
Okay, and I'm ScouB. John at SMK.
Most impressive claim to fame.
What would be, well, okay, if I had to guess what his most impressive world record is. MC2, NTSC? I think you're the only person in 101, right?
1-0, actually.
Oh, you're one flat already? Oh, man.
Well, there's Marisa.
Jesus. All right, we're off to a good start then.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so let's quickly try to explain why we are here, beyond that great intro of everyone. So I think the idea here was to just talk about old stuff, because we did this, I think, 10 years back. Something called Kart Radio, which, while we were young.
For sure.
Yeah, and now we're trying to bring it back like a pre-show to the championat, the Super Mario Kart World Championship, which takes place in a month and a half or something.
In middle of August, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So we're gonna revive the Kart Radio, and now we're older and wiser, right?
Older for sure.
Yes.
Wiser, debatable.
Right. So that's why the new name. We're not as pristine as we once were.
We were going to go with Costeoporosis, but that didn't really make any sense. So Karthritis had to be the backup.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
Why are we back?
Yeah.
Did we already do that?
Well, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, because Joe has been subtly hinting at it for 10 years.
Just about, yeah. I've missed it, and I think that technology is kind of finally caught up. We don't have to use Skype and like a 7-second delay, or VoIP cheap, which was a disaster from the get-go.
No more VoIP cheaps, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we can finally have a relatively smooth show without much editing, and I mean, there's going to be editing, of course, but I think just with the quality of Discord, it's just a little bit smoother on our end now.
Yeah. And as per usual, you can leave all the editing to me. So, yeah.
And thank God for that, because it would take me forever.
Yeah. Well, I guess I got the shortest straw this time as well. That part didn't change.
Well, I was hoping that we'd bring it back, but I didn't want to do any of the work.
Right,
you know?
Right. I think that's why it took 8 years as well.
You just sit there and look pretty, Joe.
Yeah, on radio, I look great.
That's what I'm trying to
It's
do.
your best look.
I think there's a saying that the best pictures are on radio, so that's a compliment to you, Joe.
Yeah, I got a face for radio. It never stops. It never stops.
All right. All right, so what's the scope of this show this time around?
Maybe we can talk about the Karter Contest. I know Joe will his loss.
Sure. Okay. So I didn't think I was going to make it very far in the tournament this year, the Karter Contest.
You
2K.
did beat Antistar.
I did, and I thought that was a very, very huge win. I didn't expect that at all. I thought that Guillaume's presence on the internet is a little bit more favorable than mine. I don't tweet a million things a day. I mostly just shit post about hockey and bad jokes. So I was surprised when there was enough people to vote for me over him. That was very interesting.
Say for the record that not tweeting 100 million times a day speaks in your favor, Joe.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's something to be said about quality over quantity and stuff.
Well, like I said, though, when I do tweet, it's about how much I hate the Chicago Blackhawks, and I don't think anybody gives a shit about that.
Right,
so
but if you did that 100 times a day, it would be worse.
that would be infinitely worse than that. Yeah.
So
Briefly, for the people that might not know, explain what the Karter Contest is about.
Oh yeah, I think we just kind of glossed over that without actually explaining that. So essentially, what happens is that there's a Mario Kart message board that I think we're all still a part of, and yeah, basically you just get nominated into the brackets, and the top 64 people, not unlike a March Madness American college basketball tournament, they just kind of have a face-off, and whoever gets the most votes advances to the next round. And I was fortunate enough to make it to the Sweet 16 this year before I was eliminated by Kyle, and that was fun. It was fun making it at least this far, so I shouldn't feel too bad about it.
So this is not a shots fired, but does any one of us know who Kyle is?
yeah, what's a Kyle?
Kyle,
who Kyle
he's in our. Well, there's also a separate Discord server for
Kyle?
a few of us Americans. On yeah, it's just for Kyle. No, the Americans have a lot of active sports conversations, and he's part of that. And he's also, I guess, he's a really good Karter at some other game that I don't play. And that spoke volumes when the Mario Kart 64 block basically said, "Joe, nah." So I lost that block 18-1 and killed me. That's about it. And I think last time in 2016, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think KVD, you made it to the Elite 8 or maybe the Final 4.
I made the Final 4, yeah.
Final 4. And then I don't want to
not
say
sure.
shots fired either, but what happened this year?
By right?
By,
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Stacy.
Gotcha.
Yes.
He is like
Stacy Needham or whatever.
yeah, exactly. After Chris Wilde, he is the most universally accomplished Karter. So
Man.
Can I
That's
just
that.
make a small note that I always thought Stacy Needs Ham was a joke name?
Like a fake persona.
Yeah. There's something awkwardly homosexual about it that I thought was just another one of Jeffrey Gutierrez's alter egos or whatever.
Oh, Pobra. You know, he's also a Chicago kid, so I can't say much about him. We almost met up for a beer, I will say that, and then I got cold feet and I just avoided him.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to say much about him. He takes care of that himself.
Yeah, he goes on waves on the message board a lot.
Yeah. And Facebook.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that one as well.
All right.
Sorry.
I wasn't interested, but now I am.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, he just posts a lot of nonsense a lot, and I don't know, Facebook's just kind of a cesspool of people anyway, and
Yeah.
I tend to block or hide a lot of people. And so, yeah, I haven't seen a single post from him in about 5 years.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
any SMK players currently still in the contest?
I don't think so. I think Maul was the last one, I think.
Is that it? Oh, man. Wow.
He lost to Edge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that'll
he
happen.
I
lost
think we
that
should
yesterday.
observe 1 minute of silence here in memory of Mol Karter contest performance.
A full minute for Maul.
How about we make it a minute second?
Well, 5 seconds.
5 is good.
And we're done.
Yeah, that was
All right.
rough 5 seconds.
We can always edit that to be 5 seconds, by the way.
Yeah.
There is still a Shock in the contest. He's quite good rank. So I don't know if we can consider him an SMK player.
Yeah,
Or
he just started
MKS
playing,
in
actually.
general.
I should do some research while we're doing this.
Right.
And
I would
yes.
consider Shock more of a Super Circuit main. He just comes
Little
over to
bit,
SMK
little
because it's
A
similar.
little bit.
Yeah,
Not
but,
that much.
but if he's recently started playing SMK, he might show some potential, I guess.
Yeah, he's currently ranked 33rd on the NTSC charts.
But yeah, exactly.
That's not
That's
shit.
It's not too shabby. No, that's pretty good.
To passing Nicholas Harvey yet?
Oof, don't-
Nick is.
No, I'm still ahead of Harvey.
Nick Harvey's at 40. Yeah, and Dan's tied with him.
He's ahead of Harvey?
I'm tied
yeah,
with them now? Jeez, I've really
Technically,
fallen
yeah.
off in 8 years.
technically you guys are both at 40.
8 years of inactivity will do that for you.
I can also relate to that. I've dropped to 17th overall. Fantastic.
You used to
Hey,
be
you
number
gotta
one,
keep
Joe,
it
right?
Just last
Yeah.
year, though, Joe.
Yeah. But just last year for what? For playing?
Ghost Valley won.
Oh, I played. Yeah, that was a couple months ago. But yeah, I haven't played
15.
to like really lower like a bunch of my times in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You were active.
that's not really being active.
Oh, it is.
I thought I got 1172, and it turns out that was lying. I only got a 73. I'm like, fuck. Okay, well I got to beat that now. And then I got 69. So
Good
it
for
was
you.
worth it. It was worth it, I guess, right?
And
As much
Sami
as-
got 68.
Yeah, like the following hour. He's like, I can't have that guy beat me.
Is that the F lap that everyone thinks is? Carol, you have the world record there?
But we think it is a fake time.
Yeah, I think the consensus across the board is that if you look at the Mario Kart world record history, a lot of them have blue links to videos, and that one just mysteriously does not have a blue
Oh
link.
shit!
So I'm throwing it down right now.
Yeah, time to make a video.
God.
I think somebody's got to do it,
Steven
and it's not going to be me. I'm
No,
not good enough.
Just
But
make a video about it and, compare me. Is SKV the Steven Zwoarties?
that's right. Zwoarties.
Zwoarties, that's the one. Yeah. Actually,
What?
that was while we somehow stumbled into this back alley of Steven Zwoarties controversy.
Steven's watches, for the record.
Steven
Okay.
Zwoarties. I'm sticking to it. Should we spread some words regarding that?
Yeah, I have thoughts, but I don't know if you guys want to take the lead. That's up to you guys. I wanna say I think KVD would probably have the closest insider information on this one.
A little biased, though. I would start with Sargoth.
I'm also a little biased, and that's only because of the era in which he played most of his records. And I think that it's unfair to have current standards for video proof and for ease of access to technology, what we have now compared to back in 1997 to 2003.
Yeah.
It's unfair to say that unproven times were fake just across the board. And I think in his case, all he's ever done was prove that he's been a world champion at every level that he's ever done for any game, basically. And I think that this is not to say that Goose was out of line by making the video that he made, but I think our White Goose on YouTube made a video about some potential cheaters from back in the day that were kind of comparable to a Todd Rogers or a Billy Mitchell. And
So
yeah, I think it's unfair. That's just my 2 cents.
let me just summarize first. So, Steven got, I don't know, hundreds of world records back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then he tired of gaming and life moves on. And then in 2003 or so, he sort of came back to go out with a bang. So he got one great record for Mario Kart 64 on Luigi Raceway, and one for Aztec in GoldenEye. And those two records stood for several years, I feel like, and they achieved a bit of a legend status. And through the years, many people have doubted them, and they did not come with any video proof, and yada yada yada. Here we are. And now it's in the limelight again, since this Goose person has made a Meta topic on the message board first and foremost, talking about how it doesn't really make sense, and a video. But to be honest, the video is kind of fair so far.
I agree with all of that. Also,
Yeah.
I want to add that prior to that, Steven Zwoarties, or SZ for short, is a very established gamer. Records already, winning multiple nationwide Nintendo tournaments, and actually having a couple of proven world records, which was rare for the time. Like, we're talking about the late 90s.
Yeah.
And everyone that has played with him, like I met him several times, realizes that he has this uncanny potential for discovering new strategies in games.
Definitely.
Force of nature almost. And therefore, I to believe it when he claims a ridiculous time than when most other people would.
And I think just to kind of piggyback off of that is that what the potential controversy, I guess, that Goose was trying to outline was that there were times that were pretty ridiculous for the time and has since been beaten. Like it hasn't been a record that is unobtainable. And I think that because he didn't say that he had Aztec 101, he said he had Aztec like 131, right? So they weren't times that were so ridiculous, but since he said them so long ago, I think that's what the basis was for the argument that maybe they might have been fake. But but I don't think that they're fake. I think that he was just that good at the time, and nobody else was really in that caliber of player.
There's like two main arguments there that like it doesn't add up to the rest of the times that he had on his profile, Steven Zwoarties, both in MK64 and GoldenEye. His other records are not that good, not nearly as good.
No, I think that it's unfair to say that because Twitch is a thing now, and because Discord's a thing now, and because there have been advances in technology, that all these older scores from the late 90s and early 2000s are subject to criticism. Even though at the time, I'd never met Steven, but I've only heard of how legendary his in-person times were with everybody who's ever met him. And so that should have been, I guess, proof enough that his skill was never in question. It's just the specific times of those Aztec and Luigi Raceway. I think it's a little bit unfair to kind of not tarnish his status, but to bring into question just because of, well, there's no proof of time. And I know that we were joking about KVD's Ghost Valley one time, but I don't actually believe that it's a fake time. Let's just put that out there for sake of argument. I just think that there's suspiciously no video, but I'm not saying that because there's no video, then it's not proven, it's not real.
Yeah. So the other thing I had was like, indeed, the record that Steven had set was quite far ahead of the curve. And that's also an argument that Goose has used a lot, and it's just true. And status as a legendary gamer, he was in the unique position to claim something he might potentially not have done, and that is a fair point. I mean,
Yeah,
but in the whole history of knowing who Steven is, I don't think of him to be a person that would just want to say that he got a time that he didn't actually get. I mean, if that makes any sense.
Sure. I've met him several times as well. He actually spent a week up in Norway, just casual gaming. And I saw and learned so much about why I suck more than anything. The way he approached the games, and this could be anything from like an old shitty Nagano 98 N64 game to like a flash game of golf, whatever. He would just find stuff all the time, and yeah, it's truly something special. And the thing about Mario Kart was, if I remember correctly, it was the mystery boost, right?
it's true.
Yeah, and Aztec, it was the guard lure whole thing. So in both cases, he did invent / find something new, which would sort of naturally put his time a bit above what was normal for the time. This doesn't seem...
Was nobody else doing the glass door trick at the time?
No, I don't think so. So according to Goose's videos, Big Boss, the boss man,
Oh yeah, it was later that year or something.
discovered the strategy a few months later, and it was subtly different from what Steven described, and they could never recreate the strat that Steven supposedly used. But essentially, the strategy, like when you take it away from how it is exactly executed, is getting a guard to open the glass door. Something Steven claimed. Just the method that he used was not reproduced.
Has he been able to ever reproduce his own theory?
Here's the thing.
He's working on that right now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so me and Carol kind of maybe know a bit more than what's been shared. So how do you feel about that, Carol? Should we just keep it on the wraps for now?
It's just suffice to say that he is working on that strategy and trying to get it to work again.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't want to be a fanboy, but I have very little doubt that he'll pull through this time. 15 years after the fact.
I have to really try hard to restrain myself from being a smug asshole after he comes up with the proof.
Yes, that is going to be a challenge.
I think we're all in agreement here as far as what we've all said and described is that I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to pull it off. And I'm not rooting for him and I'm not rooting against him at the same time. I just want, all the truth to be out there. And if I think it was a little bit unfair for Goose to just kind of frame it as if he's another known cheater and has been for so long, and then to make that whole video, even though the video was fair, I think the way he went about it was perfectly reasonable. I just think that it's unfair just to bring up these criticisms for his times just because they may have been outliers for the time and they may have been achievable times, but I think that the caliber of player that Steven has always been has never been in question. I think that the proof that he's ever needed of all of his accolades that he's ever achieved throughout, I guess just the Netherlands, whatever, like just even Nintendo Power. I think he's got some records in there too. I'm not sure about that. But he's been proven to be a successful player, and he's not a person that just joins a forum, says he's going to be good, gets some records, and disappears for 10 years. So I think that Steven's probably going to pull through with this one, obviously. But I wouldn't say smug asshole or like poetic justice, but I think it'd be just if it's just a good thing for the community as a whole. I think it's gonna work itself out properly.
Well spoken.
Yeah.
And I think that will be a day to be remembered.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's all we've ever wanted for any community is to have a complete trust-based, no questions asked, like we have no reason to not believe you type of scenario. And it's easier now than it ever has been to make videos in times of your times. But I think that, Steven will do what he's got to do. And, I can't wait to see it.
I think in that same vein, I think we should agree here and make a little pact that we should get an 1165 on Ghost Study 1 on tape.
Well, okay, so ScouB.
You say we?
KVD. Yeah.
Or one of us, like ScouB, Joe, or me. I'm not excluding you per se, but...
67, so I don't know.
67's been done by only Guillaume, right? ScouB, I think, has 68.
Like Sami, and a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, so a lot of people have 68, but 65 is like a totally different world right now.
Do you remember the flap itself, Carol?
Yeah, of course.
So
I'm not even sure if we mentioned the track yet, but we're talking about Ghost Study 1 Lab, NTSC. And currently the longest standing world record on Super Mario Kart. I was my record at the time was 1170 record, but I really wanted to hit 11 or maybe 71 even, and I wanted to hit 1160s. So
yeah, the mini barrier.
Yeah, the mini barrier, exactly.
Arbitrary
mini barrier.
Always the barriers.
It's a big barrier.
So I was already hitting some really good laps, but usually wrong, right? And then you already have 71, 72, and hundreds maybe of those kind of laps. And then one lap, pretty good, but what was really exceptional about that lap was the last corner. Kind of like the last corner in Joe's 1169 actually, which was also, let's say, with the blink at the end and a really good angle. It looked like that, but it might have been even better. probably, judging by the end time, it was better.
I think I made some mistakes throughout the other parts of the lap, though. Most notably, corner 2 always gives me troubles because getting so close to the
second.
Yeah,
definitely better.
Yeah, that one really bothers me because you can have a good intro to the lap. Corner 1's pretty self-explanatory, but corner 2 you have to really, really get close. I mean, not that you're not getting close to the other one, but in order to get close, also build the boost and also release it over the jump bar. That just, it really pisses me off. It's probably the worst part of the lap aside from the platform jump last corner.
So I've heard rumors that you are willing to dedicate a part of your summer in trying to get the 65. Is it true?
Well, if only because it needs to be on video. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have the talent to get to 65. I think I can pretty much max out at 68 or 67 at best, but we'll see. I mean, if all the planets align, I don't see why I couldn't be able to get some. It's only like 5 corners, so at least it's not that difficult of a lap, but it's legendary because of how long the world record stood without a video.
In the same boat as you, had I not driven 65 before, because my potential would also be 68 or 67. Just have to fluke it once.
Yeah, and pretty much my whole life depends on fluking it once. I go through my entire life daily routine of, well, I guess I can fake it for now and see what happens.
That's a nice life philosophy. I mean, everyone can fluke it once.
That's right. That's all you need.
ScouB experienced something similar with his KB2 lap recently.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's got a video.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's on video exactly.
We're not trying to insinuate.
There's Valley 3 flap on PAL. Because there is no video either.
Are those the only 2 tracks that don't have videos for the world records?
Ghost Valley 3 on PAL and the Ghost Valley 1 on NTSC.
I also
Ghost Valleys. I don't understand.
I also think Aaron doesn't have a video for his Bowser Castle 1 5 lap on PAL, if I remember correctly.
So there are three world records without video.
Oh, I thought...
Or over 80. In my opinion.
7.
Yeah.
It's quite good.
On the Elite, like the GoldenEye and Perfect Dark community, they don't accept world records anymore, like even retrospectively without video evidence. So the 65 would have been backrolled, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can kind of see. Yeah, and for me, I also agree that it would be perfect if we got 80-80 on video.
Can I just
Also
make a comment here that unlike the Elite, the SMK community has mostly been guided by the steady hand of the Godfather?
For better or worse, yeah.
Mostly for better.
But I think also we centralize a lot of our, because we're kind of old school, just based on how old many of us are. But I think our trust-based community is more than most communities nowadays. We don't require video proof for pretty much anything. If you're going to get a world record, you might as well just make the video, because why wouldn't you? But other than that, I think that it's pretty reasonable just to have a list of times being updated by one person still. It's not really like a do or die type of situation, like either video or you can't be on the site. So we're a little bit old school in that regard.
But then again, there have been some recent, I'm making air quotes here, polls in SMK, whether to allow this or that. Like the wall tick boost in CI1 was an example, right?
Oh yeah, the wall jump and the boost, right?
Accepted, but the multiple wall hits boost wasn't accepted.
The wall ride.
Yeah,
right,
the wall jump was allowed, but the wall ride wasn't allowed.
Right, you're right.
Yeah, okay.
But those were votes, and to me that's sort of new in the SMK community.
Nah, Sami has done. We've done votes on allowing or backrolling the infinite boost strategy on MC2 as well.
Yeah, okay, I consider that a new discovery, but I realize it's
The air quotes.
It's 10 years
He's
old.
quote unquote new boosting techniques.
Right.
I think Zarkov just joined the chat.
Yeah,
by
looks
the
like
way.
it.
Hello, I did.
So let me
Hey.
just put you on the spot, Clark, and since all of us made a short introduction of ourselves, it's your turn.
Right, okay. Hello, I'm Zarkov, and I won the Karter Contest 2 years ago, so therefore I'm the best guy here.
Obviously,
So-
yeah.
Well, that's a given.
And I'm good friends with all you guys. So apart from ScouB, because he's French, but yeah. So it's good to be talking to you guys again.
Yeah, it's been a while, huh?
It's been a very long
Totally.
time.
So we actually were talking about the Karter Contest a while ago, and we actually have a winner in our midst now. So
Yeah.
Everybody bow to the champion.
It means nothing, man. It means nothing. I'd much sooner be better at actually playing the game rather than just being good at posting bullshit. You know what I mean?
And yet I feel the exact opposite.
You've been world champion before, man.
Yeah, but now I want to win the Karter Contest. I'll never win.
The only
That's
guy
okay.
who's ever done that, right, is Sami is the only guy who's ever been world champion and Karter Contest champion at the same time.
Who?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right?
So, good.
I guess for Super Mario Kart, yeah, that's a given, since we don't have a lot of representation anymore in the Karter Contest.
I know, you guys, we just dwindled. Where's all the famed SMK voting block gone?
I don't know. It's all gone to either Mario Kart 4, Wii, or 7. All those people come out in droves, and nobody votes for old schoolers like us who are in our 30s and should be doing something else with their lives.
Yeah,
We
the
banned
landscape has
email
definitely
voting.
changed. It's crazy to me just how different it is now. I mean, in terms of, just the whole thing has changed. You know, just like what's popular now and what isn't. And how the old schoolers have fallen by the wayside in some regards. It's all about this sort of new speedrun community. It's interesting to see.
Especially like in our like specific microcosm of a community. It's like it varies so differently within the same kind of groups of people. Like the 20-year-olds all vote for 20-year-olds, and the 30-year-olds all vote for 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
I just say that I voted for Lafango, who I believe is 14 years old.
Oh yeah, I thought he was 12.
No, he's 9, isn't he? According to Mo.
There's only 9. Okay,
Yeah.
Here.
so he's almost able to drink in Europe. Then that's good.
Yeah. We could drink from 10 here.
Yeah.
On another note,
It's a
actually,
little different.
Yeah.
which something you may not know, but Lafango is officially becoming our new housemate at the House of Gaming as of tomorrow.
Oh, what the hell?
Jeez, really?
You're finally
Living
kicking
with
Patrick
you?
to the curb?
No, we had one room left over because
The cosplay girl left.
exactly. So
Ah.
briefly, our House of Gaming, our nice and beautiful House of Gaming, turned into the House of Cosplay.
Yeah, for
Hang
years.
on. I didn't even know you had a cosplay girl living
Yeah,
with you. When did
you,
that
just, you can't gloss over that fact. What the hell?
All right,
Kidding.
you
Right
guys
now,
have to
am I
catch up.
happen?
No, at some point-
You kept that quiet, Carl. You kept that very quiet. Well, to me, anyway. So
finish-
what happened to Vince? Did he just win $6 billion at the World Series of Poker?
I think quite the opposite.
On it,
Oh,
but
right.
then not
He ran out of
didn't
money.
keep it.
Gambling
As
doesn't
I was
pay.
just to finish the story,
Yeah.
there were at some point when I wasn't gaming much and Patrick wasn't gaming much, there was actually more cosplay activity in this house than gaming activity. But that has since been corrected, and with Lafango joining the forces, I think the balance will shift to healthy.
Healthy gaming.
Can
What's,
you,
what's unhealthy about cosplay?
Let's
Nothing.
not.
Unless it starts to take over your house.
It did.
I swear Patrick only did cosplay because there was loads and loads of girls who did cosplay.
Yeah, of
He
course.
was the least bit interested in it. He was just like, there's loads of girls doing this.
Absolutely.
I'm doing it as well.
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
swear that was his only motivation, right? And who can blame him?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a pretty good motivation for anything.
Should we give Patrick the briefest of shoutouts? I think he's
I
streaming
think we
right
already
now.
did.
Yeah, that was brief.
Hello, Patrick. See you later.
Yeah, because
Wessels. Well, actually, before you shout out, Patrick, you briefly mentioned like running the SMK side. I think every shout out to Sami is. Sami has been doing the SMK updates since 1999.
yeah.
20 years almost.
A week or something. I mean, ridiculous.
Nearly 20 years.
I really can't believe that he's kept it up for almost 20 years. I remember when I first joined the site, way back in the day, in like 2005, and like we would chat back and forth just via MSN, whatever. And he was like, "Do you ever see yourself stopping playing Mario Kart?" I was like, "No, man, it's gonna be forever." And then like a year later, I was pretty much done. And then he just keeps going for another 18 years. So that's crazy. That kind of dedication deserves the utmost respect.
I think it was crazy at the time as well, because in the early days, he was doing it all manually. Like every time anyone submitted, yeah, he had to type every single number in, and that's pretty crazy. Now it's all sort of computerized and passes and whatnot. But yeah, so it's too silly not to continue. But back then, it's the staying power of just. He must have had so much to do. He said he sort of just had to sacrifice his Sundays every week for God knows how many years.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey,
Had to do that.
to this day, Sami remains probably the only foreign person that can type my name correctly, just because he had to manually update it every time.
I think I can do a pretty decent
Yeah, I
job.
should manage to pull that off actually. But
I know.
Nice point anyway. There we go.
You guys talked about the upcoming tournament, CDM. Yeah.
No, we're getting to
Not
it.
quite. No. Yeah.
Yeah. So
This is actually This is probably a good part to segue into that.
I'm just gonna shout out Patrick for doing the N64 ever, pun intended, stream. Where
And the cosplay, of course. Who could forget?
let's dull that down a bit, huh? So he's been playing every N64 game known to man on stream, and he's on the final stretch now. I think he's past 90%. He's got like maybe, what would you say, 3-4 weeks left?
Really?
Why-
It seems like it's been going forever.
No, it's
Which is awesome.
just a year or something.
It's a misleading title because it's N64 ever, but it's going to be done
Yeah,
soon.
very
so
misleading.
I don't know if I agree with that.
64 1 year.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. So make sure you guys tune in for the final showdown, because I think it saved all the good games for last. So it's been pummeling through a pile of shit every week now for years. Except
Yeah, I
Aidyn.
think he's got. I think he's got Superman 64 still up on the table.
No,
right?
it's done that.
He did that.
Nah, that's stupid. You should have waited until the very end to do that one. Everybody knows how legendary that game is.
Yeah.
Feeling that ScouB is one of his most loyal viewers at the moment. Is that true?
Well, I just follow him like 10 or 15 minutes every day.
Right.
And,
That
Admirable.
still counts as being pretty loyal, though.
Sure.
Just out of curiosity, how was the Snowboard Kids stream?
Oh, that was brilliant. Oh, come on. You have to rewatch that one. You might want to watch it at double speed or something, because it took like 6 hours to finish the last level.
okay.
Oh, what?
That was good.
If you ever need a masterclass at Dutch swearing, don't
Yeah.
look any.
Angerhoer. So what game did he choose? What game has he chosen for his last game?
Super Mario 64.
Super Mario 64.
Yeah, that's probably the obvious choice, right?
And I think the Zelda's, or the Ocarina of Time is coming very late.
Probably the second to last game, I would guess.
And Donkey Kong 64 is late.
Is he doing 100% runs or just beating the game? Any
No, he is doing the bare minimum of everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might take forever if he's at 100% for everything.
I would
Yeah, that's
easily
true.
donate, I think, I would donate like 250 euros to see him do a 100% Aidyn run.
Oh my god, that would
Yeah.
take N64 ever.
Yeah, that might be the end of our Patrick.
I think the any percent took him 35 hours.
Close to 40.
Oh my god.
44 maybe?
What game is this?
Oh, you haven't
Chronicles
heard
of
about
Aidyn.
the
Oh my
first
God, the meme.
mage?
I did.
I think
I know nothing about
Isa
this
made a GIF. I think, Clark, you need to check out.
Right.
Carol will show you the direction.
Oh my God. It's
Put me on the spot.
achieved legendary status already. Was that the first game that he was playing, or was it like
No,
third on the list?
no, it's early. It's like number 7 or something. But yeah,
Oh God. Because I remember like his timer, his like global timer for the total completion time for all the games was not even that high. It was like 7 hours, something like that. And then he got to Aidyn, and it went like from 7 to like 50.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, that's enough of the shout out to the Wessels. Let's move on to CDM.
Nice.
Transition is that Patrick wants to perform the last game of the challenge, so Super Mario 64, to do it during CDM.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I didn't know that. So it's going to take viewers away?
No, he's going to do it on the ceremony day. After the prize ceremony, he will do his Mario 64.
Okay, that's cool. Maybe the
That's crazy. How kind of like lined up that way. That's cool.
Yeah,
It's hard to get there, but apparently he's right on schedule for it. Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, I think it is.
I only have one piece of CDM news. I guess ScouB and Carol will have a lot more. But
Well, first you have to say what the CDM is.
I'm not going to do French, so take it away,
Okay.
Joe.
Oh, me? What about Dan? He hasn't been talking at all. I feel like I've been talking a lot.
All right.
The Super Mario Kart Championship. That's what CDM means.
French.
Makes perfect sense, right?
You dodged
Yeah.
it somehow. What's the C?
Championnat
Championship
All right. And the D?
du
of
Ah. All right.
And the M?
monde.
So Championship of Mond.
Of monde.
that is
Championnat
it.
du monde.
Yeah.
It means World Championships. Simple as.
It
Right.
used to be the French Federation Championships. Now it's opened up to the world.
It's still French.
Still French. Still majority, I think, is what.
Yeah.
How many red? Well, all right, let's get into this because
Yeah.
it used to start off as an only French competition, and then they allowed the rest of the world to participate. Not unlike American sports.
How far
And,
back does it go?
2002.
Oh, Joe with the knowledge?
That's older than Lafungo.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were playing Super Mario Kart before he was born.
All right.
So, how many non-French players have won the overall championship?
Zilch?
One.
One?
One, yeah. Sami.
Sami got
Just
it one.
Sami?
Ah.
2012. Yeah.
How about, would anyone know offhand how many non-French players have won like individual championships? I know Drew's won a number of them in battle mode. KVD's
Drew's not
never
bad.
won anything. He's only gotten silver.
Quite a few.
Ouch. Ouch.
I just had to throw that shade out there.
Shots fired.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
He takes
So
on
it's
the chin
just
like a
Drew
man.
and Sami are non-French.
Ah,
champions
ScouB's won.
of-
Oh, yeah, he's French. Sorry.
He's French. Jeez.
I forgot the qualifier there. Sorry.
Yeah. It's Sami and Drew, I think. That's about it. Like, we'd expect Carol to win time trial sometime this century. But
I actually believe Sargoth had a very convoluted story about how Neo might not be French, which
yeah.
involved a stork and a dropping over country borders and whatnot.
Yeah, floating
Wow.
down a river in a basket and erroneously
Well,
ending up
yeah.
in France. Yeah.
yeah.
End of the day,
Send
Neo is
him
still
over
French.
from England.
I always thought he
I
was
would've
Swiss.
gone with Neo being from Neptune.
Okay.
Well, I thought he was Swiss because he's actually Roger Federer, and people don't actually know that. But
This is a
Roger
secret.
Federer, in his spare time when he's not dominating the tennis charts, he uses that time to play a game from 1992.
Yeah, a similar skill set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get one thing straight. Who of us are going to the CDM this year?
I do.
I am.
Clark, you going?
Yeah, I'm going.
ScouB, you'll never miss it.
I did miss a few editions, but not this year.
Not lately.
When's the last time ScouB missed a CDM?
2013? No, 2011.
I missed time trial in 2013.
I didn't hear.
I went to 2013. How high did you still rank overall?
Finished third.
Even though he missed an entire category.
Oh, but
That's crazy.
time trial is half weighted, right?
True. Still.
Yeah. So, Carol, you're going for someone's got to rack up the silvers, right?
Ouch.
Been going non-stop since 2007.
Oh, wow.
Barring earthquakes and unforeseen circumstances like that, I will keep on going every year.
Yeah, same. I can't not go anymore. It's just part of my life now. I just
So
go
now,
every year.
what if I said that the next year's CDM is going to be happening in Colorado in the United States?
But
Oh, then maybe. I'd love
Yeah,
to.
see, there you go.
I'd just like to see the Rockies.
It changes quite a bit once it's not just a train ride and it's a whole flight over the Atlantic Ocean.
the Rockies are so beautiful. I've been there now.
Yeah, you just did a whole United States, well, not whole, but at least a good portion of the United States excursion.
The west part.
Yeah, I was so jealous of every time you put photos on Facebook saying, "Hey, I'm somewhere new in America." I'm like, I'd fucking love to do that. That's just
That's exactly
like a
the
different
reaction he tried to get out of you, Clark.
well, it works. It worked.
That's
I
what
think it
that's what Facebook's
really-
for.
experience.
It looked
Well,
good.
Facebook for Americans is about shit posting about politics all day, every single day.
Right.
And it's so enjoyable just to see everybody's reaction to everything. Oh, God, it's insane.
Anyway, who do
What?
you think is going to win the CDM this year?
ScouB.
ScouB.
ScouB. This is like
ScouB.
I'd like to view
Laughing
myself
will
as a
win.
dark horse.
Right, and myself.
Do you think it's gonna win ScouB?
Who's just cracked open a beer?
Gonna win a junior edition.
I think we forgot to mention that this year's CDM will not be held in France.
Good
No.
point. That's one
Well-
difference. The second difference is I'm actually gonna show up this time.
Really?
Yeah, I've booked my ticket, so it's no way back now.
No way. That's brilliant. I can't wait.
So
Marius at a CDM. That's something new.
we're gonna drink ourselves to death, right, Clark?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. We're
gonna-
also going to bankrupt ourselves
Is
as well.
there any other
Sure.
way to do CDM?
I doubt it.
I think the Americans had a pretty good showing.
Yeah.
Both North American and South American.
Oh, yeah,
Guillermo.
absolutely.
All right.
Get
yeah.
Brontes! I don't think that
Honestly.
Guillermo remembers that he was actually in
I think
2015.
Joe just died.
Yeah, something.
I just
died.
died. What happened?
You fell over or something? You cut out.
I did? Oh,
That's good.
Yeah,
Well-
everyone cut out for a second
I think
there.
so,
It's
yeah.
weird.
okay. We'll edit that part out of the of the conversation.
Yes, Joe. We'll edit that part out.
Thanks for editing it, buddy.
So have any Americans actually confirmed to come this year, or not?
I
I
think,
think they were saying that Drew is always a last minute type of situation, so I imagine he'll still be there.
Oh, and Lafungo, I guess he's sort of American.
And
No,
Bet Malar.
no.
Oh, Matt Ballard's coming again. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
The World Carter is coming.
Who? The world.
Golden, Kyle, and
Oh, right. Cool. Nice.
How about Fenner?
He said he'd only go if it's in his backyard.
Right. Well,
Charlotte.
that's the least we can do.
fine.
Yeah, or if he has to take a bus somewhere, then he's fine. But getting on a plane, they often crash. So
Yeah, off.
he's not going to be there.
I hope.
For several years in a row, he posted like 2013, 2014, and so on. He said, "Why don't you do CDM in North Carolina?"
Yeah,
Half century. Right.
And basically, Asteren and Mike Holscher, our two Dutch players, are living Terence Fenner's dream because the CDM is moving right in their backyard in Alpha on the Rhine. This is where they live.
Right.
Why can't that happen to me? Why can't it just be in Watford one year?
Oh, organize it.
No, I just want it to happen. Someone else can organise it.
yeah.
And I'll just see a poster out somewhere like, oh, hey, it's in Watford this year. Brilliant. Don't have to go anywhere.
And then even still, you're still a maybe to show up. That
I'm working that day. I can possibly come. It's too far away.
Oh, and another thing about CDM, I just read, I think yesterday, that Sami is finally confirmed. That was looking iffy for a while.
Well, Mole made a very good joke. He said, you must be a bit bummed that you're not going to be UK #1 now. Oh, sorry, or UK #2, or UK #3. Because now Connor and Layla are coming, as well as Sami.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's going to be my UV.
Right.
Like 18th place or something.
Oh, so
Yeah.
who? Connor and Layla and one more?
Sami, and then also we've got, what's his name? Mike Hutchins.
what about David Grohl? Or Mike Grohl? Sorry, Mike Grohl.
No, Mike Gross. But this guy, Mr. Nosy, he's known as in the community. But he lives in the same town as me, and I've never met him. There's also another one, Glosboy. I don't know if it's Stefan Glosby. I've never met him either, and we live in the same town. And you know the UK, it's tiny. I'm literally 5 minutes away from these guys, and I've never met them.
And you never will.
Nosy, for the record, is I think the #2 ranked Karter in MKSC in the world, or maybe the #3. Number
Yeah,
3,
he's
after
really
Chris
good.
Wild.
Oh, shit.
Jeez. Wow.
But the first time I'm going to meet this guy who lives in the same town as me, it's going to be in Amsterdam. But anyway, yeah. I'm pumped when new people come to the CDM anyway. It's great. Didn't you say that, what's his face? Is it Willem van Voorst is coming? Was I correct in that, or was it someone else?
Are these
Yes,
not
he's
public things yet?
Yeah.
Oh,
His
Oh, it's-
participation is.
Okay,
oh right.
let's not insinuate anything else.
No, fair enough.
Actually,
Dodged a bullet there.
some interesting
We'll
participants.
just edit that out.
Yeah.
We will.
Some interesting participants to mention, I think, are making a return for the first time since 2009. Is it ScouB?
Yes.
Michael Jongerius, the
Oh, MJ,
famous
of course,
MK64
Wow.
world champ.
He's
At some
decent.
point.
Yeah, he's all right, isn't he?
Yeah.
Super Mario Kart.
And then there is Mike Koehorn, is another Dutch guy who's currently the Mario Kart Double Dash world champion.
Yeah, Goomba, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a bunch of other really good Double Dash players going, including Andreas Rudmarker,
Oh, really?
Richard Carlson from Sweden. So those are like the #2 and 3 ranked in Double Dash, or maybe they're now #3 and 4, but still top 5. And Aaron
Oh,
And
bloody
Aaron.
hell.
Okay.
used to be a really good Double Dash player as well. The 4-player Double Dash action should be interesting.
Well, he won't play Double Dash because he'll leave his controller at home.
Can I just get one thing? Well, this is regarding CDM anyway. But will there be casual setups, and how will those look? How does it look? Is there enough room?
Sort of have claimed a little corner with a bunch of CRT TVs for Banana Man of the famous plug and play team. Like every CDM, he's more concerned with finishing like really bizarre Japanese games and involving other people with them, rather than actually playing well on SMK, he's a legend. And I
Alright.
think in that little corner, there's also room for like the casual other tournaments or whatnot. Yeah.
All right, because I gotta get my fix in circuit breakers and Street Fighter and Micro Machines. And
Oh, hell yes. I can't wait
Oh,
to
man.
watch these things.
I would totally play in Street Fighter.
yeah. By the way, Joe, did you know that there was just a new Street Fighter game released containing all the iterations of Street Fighter 1, 2, and 3?
Really?
Yeah, it's like half price on your modern console of choice.
I guess a PS4 would be modern console enough.
Yeah, Steam
Okay.
also, if you want to. It's-
My computer cannot handle anything more games from the 90s.
All right. Right, yeah, I just want to throw that in there. I really want to get some games going when I get down there. And I don't want to play Kart, because that's just, yeah.
Well, you're going to be playing Kart a lot.
The last time I played multiplayer, I think was... I see Clark has muted himself, so that's brilliant. I think it was against
He
Clark.
just had to go get a beer.
I was pissing. I was having a piss. I was being nice.
Cut!
All right. So where was I?
Multiplayer.
Yeah. Whatever year was it? 2011 something. I went over to London to play Biff in some Street Fighter games.
Oh, is that
yeah.
Sami had in Croydon or whatever? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I remember that's one of the best moments of my life was before the actual, I suppose, tournament. I asked Clark to take me get some food because I was probably hungover and sleep deprived and complaining about the heat in London. So Clark took me to my very first Subway.
Subway?
Yeah, the fast food chain or whatever.
The American fast food chain Subway?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just went complete banana hammock on that shit with 8 different kinds of meat slapped on with cheese and bacon and onions. And I think that was the single greatest meal of my life.
He couldn't believe it. He was like, "What? I can choose whatever I like."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, just choose whatever you want." He was like, "I love everything."
Oh, so good. Perfect meal. And of course I won the Street Fighter thing. That was pretty anticlimactic, really. So the meal was the main takeaway from
Nice.
that day. Anyway, after that I think I played you, Clark, in like a Mushroom Cup 2 out of 3 or something.
Yeah,
Then-
it's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. And then I just realized, yeah, I suck at this game. This is not for me. And I
You
play...
used to be really good.
Huh?
You used to be really good, didn't you? Well, at least I thought you were.
No, I don't think so. I used to play a bit of battle mode with Carol online, and that's pretty much the extent of my multiplayer in that game, because there's no Norwegian competition. So,
Right, fair enough.
so I'm not
Because there's no one in Norway.
Can I just chime in here and say that Sargoth recently reached a career high performance in SMK with a sub-minute on MC1?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
yeah, I
Congratulations,
suppose
buddy.
that happened. Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah. That's really good. It was. I found that really tough to do that. I only did it because I wanted to beat Alvin, and I couldn't bear him beating me at that. So I spent ages doing it. But yeah, it was really tough. Good going.
What did you end up getting, Clark?
I think mine was like 59.95, if I remember correctly. I can't even remember.
Oh.
You'd have to check the website.
Yeah,
But,
is
Is
that...
that specifically non-new boosting technique?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And
really?
yeah, I did it no pipe jump as well, in the end.
Oh,
man.
Oh, we're talking NTSC. I thought we were talking PAL mode.
Oh no, I have a bit lower on NBT PAL, yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. Fair enough.
No, I just
Still-
want to do the Sami thing where the whole puritanical, no cheat suit.
Yeah.
Is that a disguised Fenner quote?
Yeah, a little bit.
I on the inside joke reach you.
All
I think we
right.
need to have a running tally of how many times we mentioned Terry Center.
Yeah, and we do have some inside kart radio jokes which are dated and like shouting
People.
Guillermo Rante's name.
I did do that
Only
earlier.
only we will get that. There's like 3 of us here. Not even all of us will get it.
Yeah. Right.
Mm.
Exactly. But having talked about Marius's recent endeavors in SMK, you guys might not know, but he's not going to join the competition at all. He's going to be the caster on Twitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's the gig.
Nice. Just as long
I
as I
respect
can come
that,
and
by the way.
commentate with you for a bit? That sounds good.
Oh, sure.
Means, guys, English commentary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no Tif.
English
that's
commentary is always a thing. I like listening to French, but I can't really understand what they're saying. If they've typed everything out, it'd be fine. But
Just pure French commentary over English Tif commentary.
Yes.
English commentary is good.
Tif drunk commentary.
Tiff showering you with spit commentary.
Shout out to Tiff.
Yeah, a little bit.
we love Tiff here. No, we do really.
Tif's a
I
good
always
guy.
I always bring up the because I keep apologizing to him. He doesn't understand why, but when I was at CDM in 2015, I was put in the same tent as him at the campground, and I had to get up in the middle of the night to take a piss because I'd been drinking all day, and he was passed out, and like he only had a few hours. It was like 2 in the morning, whatever, and he had to be up and making breakfast at like 6 or something like that. And I remember when I got up, I didn't step on his head directly, but I know I kicked him, and I felt really bad about it. Like the next morning, he's making eggs, and I was just like, "Hey, Tiff, man, I'm really sorry, but I kicked you a lot in the middle of the night." He's like, "Oh, I had no idea. I'm sorry." I'm like, "Okay, sorry about that." He's like, "You don't have to keep apologizing, buddy. It's okay." Okay. So
It was not Tif.
it wasn't Tiff. It was Tiff.
Kicked someone else.
I hope I just kicked Tiff.
He's walking around the campsite, kicking random people in the head.
I hope him because
can
I keep
have one
apologizing to him. I don't think he knows what I'm talking about. So maybe
It was
somebody else.
Patrick Wessels you hit. He looks funny.
Speaking of
Ouch.
camps, I am so looking forward to my first ever CDM without having to camp. Well, I mean, I don't have to flipping lug a tent and all my sleeping gear around halfway around France. I just get to rock up at a hostel and throw my one bag down.
Oh,
I
hold
cannot
on,
wait.
hold on. That's a loss, Clark. The hostel is a
Really?
yeah, it's a trap.
I don't care.
All right. As long as we're on sleeping arrangements, should we do like a Drew shout out, Carol?
Oh, I wonder what he's gonna do in Amsterdam.
Joe should cover this one based on what happened last year with Cartel and Drew. Because they know more details about the story. It's a good story to tell, for sure.
What was that?
Policeman.
Oh yeah,
What?
he got kicked out and everything, didn't he? Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know the half of the story. All I know is that they got kicked out of their hotel room for being rowdy or something.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Story. I thought,
I didn't know about any of this.
so
Yeah, I hadn't kept up with Drew's endeavors in France.
basically, Drew arranged an Airbnb in La Suze. Matt and Kyle and Ben and Drew. And tying your wagon to Drew is probably very rarely a good idea. Them getting kicked out was actually not his fault, as much as it may have been his appearance fault.
Possibly.
Because he looks
Sure.
homeless.
Yeah, he looks.
Mountain Jack, I think is the term.
Yeah, Mountain Yak.
He looks homeless. No, fair enough.
I didn't say that, by the way. That was Dave.
So they shared the Airbnb with a group of early 20s other American guys. Or they were American, but they were very loud and they were partying it all night long. And the French of the place kicked Drew and Co out based on what happened during the night. And it didn't have anything to do with the noise, but still they got kicked out. And actually the police came to the scene because some of their stuff was still inside there and they had to retrieve it. And
Right.
ended up happening is that some of them, I believe, Eric and Drew slept on the streets.
Jesus.
Yes.
Drew, but it was something new to Eric.
He was fine with it though. He was cool. He was just like, "Hey, it was an adventure. I had fun." Yeah.
Yeah, he was sort of fine with it, but also he
Well, didn't Drew sleep in like the like the like not a bank, but like
You do know the story. That's exactly what happened.
the ATM. Yeah, he slept in that little like crevice area.
Yeah.
Oh,
And people had to step over him when they're drawing out money. Straddle over to him. Yeah. I mean, we all have having to deal with Drew. I don't know if we do, but I have a having to deal with Drew's story after the CDM, and it's all because we get back to London, and the only two people there or three people is me, Drew, and Dave Mole, and Mole just runs off. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't say goodbye or anything. He just runs away and leaves me with having to look after Drew for a week.
A week?
What the hell?
Holy shit!
All I could do was bring him back to my tiny apartment where I was staying, and I had to sort of entertain him for a few days. I took him into London, and we met meets and stuff, until somehow I managed to convince Ben, as in BPA, to put him up for a few days. And I just told him where to go on the train, dropped him off, and waved goodbye, and just breathed a huge sigh of relief. Yeah, that was cheers, Dave Mole, for just running away.
That's a pro strategy right there.
That it is.
He's like, I remember him saying afterwards when I spoke to him, I asked him, he said, "I am not having that stay at my house."
Oh man!
Yeah,
Shout out to Drew.
Yeah, shenanigans.
Hey,
I love
Were you like a leader of perfectly good moonshine when he was at your place, Sargoth?
yes, that was the thing that happened. Yeah, a couple of things from back in 2007. There was a tournament held in Norway. So Drew somehow joined up. He came by plane and he didn't tell me anything, where to pick him up, why, when. I sort of saw on the forums that he was there. And he had done something in town that got the local media interested. So the newspaper drove him to the venue, and they wanted to make sort of I don't know, a story in the newspaper with a gamer travels from USA, gets lost in the smallest town in Norway, and wins tournament. So it just suddenly showed up at the venue, and I'm like, well, that's cool, but shouldn't we help you get here? How did you get here? Well, he managed. And I just want to throw in the other story, which is a sentence. When he went to sleep the first night during NLG, he sort of stood on one side of the venue. It's a rather big venue, I guess.
A very loud venue at that point.
Right, yeah. Very loud, that's true. Everyone was playing
Guitar Hero non-stop.
Yep.
Full volume.
Stuff like that. And he just, from one side of the room, held up his sleeping bag, started running, and threw himself on top of the sleeping bag down on the floor, slid like 5 meters, and fell asleep.
I've heard that one before. It never ceases to amaze me. It's a great one.
I don't think that's the only time he's done similar things either.
No, he sleeps under many different tables and whatnot at any place you go. I remember in 2011 he just slept in the kids' jungle gym outside, didn't he? He said a cleaning lady tried to shoo him away with her broom.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. But he just sort of appears, doesn't he? Like, you never know. Like, you could be at the CDM and he's just not there and then there. Like, I don't know how he gets anywhere.
I also don't know how he affords to go to Europe every single year. That, to me, surprises me a lot.
It's a mystery to me as well, Joe.
I remember, I think it was 2000-something, when I was first trying to get to the CDM, and he's like, "Oh, it's easy. You just open a credit card." I'm like, "Yeah, but you gotta pay that back." He's like, "No, just when you need more money, just open another credit card." Okay.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna do that. so I didn't do that.
Wise move. Yes. I think he's doing the whole cryptocurrency thing now, isn't he?
Well, how successful can you be with that? Because I know it's pretty volatile. It's still worth a lot of money.
That's a good word for it. I know quite a few people who have been burnt.
It doesn't seem the most sort of solid and stable of ways to make money to me.
But eventually, it will replace the systems we have. I'm fairly confident.
So you're telling me Drew is a pioneer of the future?
Of many things, yes.
I think Drew is from the future.
You may be right there. It would explain a lot of things.
He defies all current logic and rationale.
When I arrive at a World Championships town, like you typically arrive by train, and then there are people to greet you there at the platform that are already there. And if you look for Drew, I just look up. Or a shed or
he's
whatever.
usually on some sort of building.
Or a tree. And he's always up there somewhere.
Yeah.
On the roof somewhere or other, isn't he?
All right, guys. I have 2 more possible subjects. I have a segment called Gaming News. Is there anything worth mentioning?
Well, I had one little bit prepared.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Which is from Mario Maker. Absolutely batshit insane. So there's a guy called Go Saigen, who's very involved in building his own levels and finishing very hard levels, like the Kaizo style levels.
Yeah.
Mission the last year was to upload the hardest possible level. So if you want to upload your level, you have to beat it first. So that's the criterion. So you cannot upload an impossible level.
Right.
It took him 10 months to finally finish it. He set out to the possible level he could possibly still beat himself. And it took him a whopping, I'm gonna scroll down, 750 hours.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
So good luck beating that one.
And he made the level?
It took him 100, so obviously it's a very long level, so you have to test all these small increments while building it. So the building time of the level alone was 112 hours. Practicing specific sections, so we could just all string it together, and it took him 166 hours. And then finally you have to beat it all in one setting to be able to upload it, and that took him, let me see, 456 hours.
Oh my god.
Worth? Hashtag worth?
So if you want to see it, type in YouTube Super Saigen's Magnum Opus, and you will find it.
Right. I'm assuming he's quit this game afterwards, right? What is the point of playing it anymore?
Absolutely insane.
Yeah. Pretty crazy amount of time. I have some gaming
Do you think it's more...
Okay.
Do you think it's more playing than Sami on MC1?
No.
No.
Sami and MC1, man. We were just talking about this earlier, actually, in chat. And, yeah, I think that's not going to ever be touched by anybody for the next foreseeable future. But if someone actually does get close, I do think that he'll try to lower it by another second.
Oh, you're talking
just
about...
so that he's the only person to get a certain time. So
You're talking about the times achieved.
yes.
I thought we were talking about the time spent.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Well,
been
I guess it goes hand in hand. Yeah.
Well, to some extent.
I would be absolutely shocked if it turned out that Sami played MC1 for less than 2,000 hours.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's some sort of dedication that I once had. I no longer have that.
Can we just quickly, because I'm sort of new again, there's a religious joke there somewhere, to the kart community, and if I understand correctly, there's a guy who now has 200s worse of a time than Sami and NTSC.
Would his name be Julien Olmier?
No.
Oh, you mean for a non-pipe jump NTSC?
Yeah, 59, 51, maybe.
Oh, a Japanese guy.
Yeah. So, could he beat it? Like some of Sami's MC1 efforts?
Well, what do you think, KVD? Because I think that non-MBT, no pipe jump, is vastly different than the MBT strats that we currently use.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah, so he has shown no interest, so we cannot in MBT at all, so we cannot judge his potential there. But as far as the no pipe jump time goes, being that close, I would say that he can beat it. Just that
the record is what, 59:45?
49?
49?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so he's only 0.02 away.
To Sami, his PAL time of 101.05 max, like say 400-500s better. So there's apparently some margin left. Who knows?
Well, I'd be interested in seeing somebody else have a record besides Sami and MC1.
Go ahead and break the MC1 lap on NTSC.
Maybe by the end of the year. Who knows?
Yeah.
I do target MC1 E2 or something. I will have to do it without streaming, because if I do stream, he will do 1079 before I can achieve anything.
Oh, you need to do it in secret.
All right.
If I don't, he will beat me before.
Yeah, I know that game, by the way.
Do you remember, actually, when I was playing MC1 a lot last month, better and better PRs, Sami actually started hanging out in my chat.
Yeah.
Wow. He's sniffing around. He's like, he's not going to have my record, is he?
Because he's never in my chat. He's never on Twitch, period. But when I hit my 1129, suddenly he was in my chat. I wasn't going to get anywhere close. But, yeah.
But have you stopped now?
Oh yeah, kind of.
That's a shame.
What are you currently going for in SMK? Yeah, because I know you were going for the Rainbow Road. It didn't happen. I think you should go back to that.
NTSC, well, not before CDM.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Currently, I'm not going for anything. But if I were to play again, if I have some time again, then till MC1, I don't know. Ice Vanilla Lake 2 could be nice.
Ugh.
Get the 5 lap.
No.
During CDM, right?
Hmm?
You're gonna do Vanilla Lake during CDM. That's the thing.
My game, like whenever there's no official competition taking place, I sit in a corner with my hoodie over my head and looking sad and just playing VL2.
Yeah. Thug life.
Dark life.
All right. So, any more gaming news? I have one incredibly small one.
So do I.
Too.
I have a tiny one.
Currently, Summer Games Done Quick is going on.
Yep.
In Bloomington, Minnesota. They're doing it for a charity called Doctors Without Borders, and I'm sure by now they're over $1 million. The last I checked was probably about 4 or 5 hours ago, and they were right around $930,000 raised
Yeah, I saw them
for
pass.
that charity. So that's all I have.
Well, that's that's newsworthy. It's been a bit saturated for my part. I used to watch all the GDQs like 5 years ago. Still,
Yeah, it's gotten too commercial.
Yeah, well, it's just too much already for me at least, because I watched so many speedruns for so many years. But it's well worth to check it out if you're new or still interested or whichever. A lot of good quality gaming going on there.
Just segue into that, and you were referring earlier that you went to a games meeting and what you remembered best was the meal that you had there.
Yeah.
I have a similar experience going to Summer Games Done Quick, the dance place.
all right.
Away from there was without a doubt the prime rib that Dan roasted on his porch.
Oh, that sounds good.
I can attest to that. That was amazing.
It was a fun day. It was
a fun week.
4th of July, too.
That was
2 years ago.
Hell of a time.
And all we did, I mean, there weren't really any games that we were interested in watching that particular day. It was just Mega Man 3, and that was at like 8 in the morning over here. So we watched that, we put it on our TV, and then after that it was like, well, let's just go drink beer. We played beanbags, and I cooked a prime rib, and it was awesome. And that's about it.
I think the Americans dominating in beanbags was the highlight of the trip for us.
No, man. I retired undefeated at that game because when I came over to you, in 2007 or whatever it was, and you were like, "Play this game." We were all drunk, and I just threw one beanbag at that. It just went straight in the hole, and I'm like, "Well, that's it. I'm never playing this game again."
There's no need to. I mean, you maxed it out.
Yeah. Retired undefeated. No.
So I have one very short gaming news thing. Matthias Roostermeyer just got a new world record on Kalimari Desert.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Like, I don't know, 2 hours ago?
So where does that put him in the 32 or the hunt for 32 world records?
Yeah, it's 30 out of 32 because it's irrelevant. He just improved his own time by 100th.
Oh.
But it was the oldest MK64 world record bar 1, I think. So,
Right, nice.
So yeah.
That's cool. I suppose that's also to keep his monthly PR streak alive.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's been going on since forever.
The stream said exactly that. All right, was there one more gaming news?
Yeah, I just thought of one thing really quick. I think because the elite, they often have times on their charts that are seemingly either impossible to beat or they have so many people at the same time. I'm thinking mostly from Damn Agent, where it was the record stood at 53 seconds for like years.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where like over 114 people had it. And all of a sudden there was a bounty system or something along those lines of somebody should be the first in the world to get 52 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if we, because Mario Kart is, for I guess most people here, pretty stagnant as far as the charts are concerned. And I think that for motivation for people to play, I'm not saying that people should have to like donate money or whatever, but I think it's kind of cool just to get like garner interest in one specific level and have a bunch of us play at the same time. So if we could bring up something like that, that'd be kind of fun. I think it's just a proposal at this point. I'm not hoping for anything, but I think that Ghost Valley 1, the NTSC Fast Lap, needs to have a record on video. So I think that I might dedicate some time to it. ScouB, I also invite you, and obviously world record holder Carol should also go for that. So
you just want us to put $5 into a pool to donate to KVD or ScouB.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Is this a Ponzi scheme?
Well, yeah, the new generation of people have to pay to us, and then we pay nobody.
Yeah. No, but the thing is that with the bounties, that was very prominent around. I want to say the end of the 2000s, as in before 2010. SDA had a lot of that. Like, beat this game in that time, get $100 or 500, whatever.
Yeah,
which was.
I have one of those out currently. If anyone cares to hear about it.
Sure, why not?
All
I
right.
brought it up.
Bring it up.
Does it involve Black Bass?
Oh yeah, baby. If you beat Super Black Bass in under 2 hours, you get $20. Break my world record of 149 something or other. It's $100.
Nice.
So there you go.
So how much do I have to?
You heard it here first, everybody.
I will have to buy the game, which is more.
The game costs like $3.
That's a rip-off. You know it.
You and me are in the unique position that we actually own the game.
Ouch.
Yeah,
I own the game.
Well,
do.
that's my CDM. I'm gonna sit in a corner with my hoodie up, playing a Super Black Bass. Looking sad. Needn't
Get that bounty.
I'll come and watch you play, Marius. Don't
All
worry.
right, thanks. Bring the beers.
You just drink like sod Dan, man. We're taking down his world record.
Good times.
I can only
Throw
hope.
it back.
Nice. Well, my one tiny piece of gaming news.
Yep.
And I mean it's extraordinarily tiny, and it involves me.
Oh.
It's that I got my SNES down from the loft.
Shit.
But I haven't plugged it in yet.
Well, it's a step-by-step process.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. I might do that next week.
Yeah.
After he gets that microphone.
I was about to say.
I have a phone. It's half a microphone.
Right. Good job. Only took 3 weeks to realize that you had half a microphone.
I didn't know it worked this way. All right, leave me alone. I'm a slow learner.
How's your bottle cap collection, Sargoth?
That's a thing.
It's pushing over 1,000 now.
Beautiful.
I have a few more, actually, I could send you. Still interested.
Dude, send them over. I'm all for it. I'm thinking when I officially hit 1,000, I haven't counted them since the 800 mark, but I've got loads.
Taking a few to CDM.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking as soon as I go over 1,000, then I might just call it a day because it's starting to become a bit tricky to find places to keep them nowadays. But that's like the 2 boxes I have for them are overflowing, and I live in a small house. I'd have to get another box. But I'm going to keep going for the foreseeable future.
Looking forward to
So
updates.
do send me your yeah, really, really exciting update.
All right.
Do you have any gaming news, ScouB?
Not really. Maybe it's worth mention to talk about Donkey Kong Country 2.
Oh yeah.
We have been the any percent world record done by like a minute,
By Void?
which is incredibly awesome
Encounter 2.
because they discovered a new technique.
Nice.
It happens on SMK.
I really like it when that happens, like 50 years after the game was released.
Yeah, do you know what the technique is?
Castle Crush. It's a new one-drop technique.
Nice.
Because it beats it shortens an auto-scroller.
Oh, I love when that happens.
Yeah, that's... Man, auto-scrollers are the worst part about any speedrun.
Shortening auto-scrollers, that's like the art of speedrunning. That's the holy grail.
Mm-hmm.
And DKC2 was a hell of a good game.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as good as Super Black Bass, but you
Well,
know,
obviously.
not every game can be.
That is pinnacle.
I was gonna say there's only one Super Black Bass, but there's probably hundreds, right?
Well, no, there's only one.
Oh, I thought it was one every
Well,
year.
let's ask the resident expert. He's
Is it
here.
one every year? Dan would know more than I would. I've played the game for a total of 20.
Being quite quiet. Yeah, Dan died.
What are we talking about
There
now?
we are. Black Bass.
Super Black Bass.
He hears Black Bass and he pipes up. You know.
I don't know anyone that's played it for the last year and a half or so, which is the last time I played it. So yeah, I don't know.
But
Who's
there's
the last person to play that game in the last 10 years that wasn't you?
Brian Sulfur. He also
Oh, okay.
has speedrun on speedrun.com.
there's more of you.
2 hours and 33 minutes.
Are you the only two?
This week.
I believe the
That's
question was how many different iterations are there of the
Yeah.
base game.
Oh, of the game?
Of the series? Yeah.
God, I don't know. I think there's 3 different Super Black Basses for the
Whoa.
Super Nintendo.
Wow.
But numbers 2 and 3 were Japan exclusives.
Oh shit. Worth the import?
Probably not.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna do it.
Well, if you're not going to do it, nobody else in the world.
All right. So
Starfish.
let's end the gaming news on the Super Black Bass note. Okay, so one last thing, guys, I guess, before I let you guys go and let myself go. That sounds weird. Who's gonna win the World Cup? Dan, you can go first.
England.
Dan, you can go first.
Oh, sorry.
Brazil.
Joe.
Fuck Neymar.
I'm going to go with a dark horse here in Croatia.
Not a bad shout. Carol?
They've been playing well.
Yeah. Got
I'm gonna go with Belgium.
That's my
Good
pick.
choice, I think.
Yeah, that's my pick. But I'm still gonna go Belgium. ScouB.
I will pick France.
Yeah, of course he's going to pick France. We knew it. We knew it.
All right.
There it was. And Zarkov is going to pick?
Who else? France.
Yeah.
No, sorry, England.
Football's coming home, is it?
The football's coming home. The status coming home, mate. We've just beaten Panama 6-1. We've lost 1-0 to Belgium. And we've beaten Tunisia in the last minute, 2-1. Of course it's coming home.
Yeah.
Tunisia. Look out for those guys.
Smashing it. Yeah.
Although, who am I to say the United States didn't make it this so womp
In all
womp.
honesty,
For once.
if I were a betting man, I would put money on Croatia. I think they're
Really?
looking really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're looking really good. I agree.
See, Americans don't have the worst opinions on
You actually got a good opinion there for once, Jay.
Oh, thank you. It's a backhanded compliment if I ever heard one.
Zing.
I'll just refer you guys to the current Mario Kart World Cup pool, and who's doing better than all of you.
Yeah, let's not.
That's true.
Yeah.
What's his name? Robert Van Zanten. RVZ is doing better than all of us with his fleet.
Yeah, and then I'm doing better than all 5 of you guys. So,
Yeah,
well,
true,
whoever's in it.
Well, I'm only in the random pool, and I'm doing all right. I think. I don't know. I haven't checked in a while.
Isn't Carol KVD running the random pool right now?
Can you take
Right now
credit
he has
for
53 points. No, 54 points. No, 53 points. Sorry.
Nice.
I don't quite get it. Can you say I'm doing well in the random pool? You didn't actually do
Yeah.
anything.
I picked a number. Yeah, I
10
picked
through
27.
99.
You picked 27. Okay. Well done, Joe.
Yeah, no, I'm pulling 27 is going to go all the way, baby.
Your finest moment.
The number of different occasions I've been screwed over by RNG, I get to for RNG working in my favor. Come on.
All right. Yeah, you should get some
What
credit.
are the odds, huh, ScouB?
And on that note, Carol
Oh,
complaining about RNG.
You come full circle.
Yeah.
It's actually both you and me, Sargoth, predicting Belgium to win. That's a pretty big jinx.
Yeah,
on
they're
that.
gonna lose obviously against Japan now.
They're gonna just go out the next round.
Yeah.
That's it for them.
That's a kiss of
Oh,
death
Croatia.
if I ever saw one. All right, anything else we need to do, guys, or are we pretty much done here?
Let's see. I made fun of Sami, Fenner,
Yeah.
Drew,
Got a bit of Aaron in there.
Dan. I didn't really mess with Aaron that much.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's coming up.
No. Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah, nice catching up with you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. I've had a great time.
Took a while,
Hope
but
to do it again soon.
people take 8 years to get a mic, so
Yeah, well.
Well, at least Zarkov figured out how to use Discord right away.
here we go.
KVD took an hour and a half.
There we
Shots
go.
Yeah. Start throwing some shit around.
I'm a
I just
technophobe.
say, good luck with editing, Sargoth.
Thanks. I like that you specify my name, so it's not good luck with our editing or something.
You know, if it's just an Audacity, I can help with that. So, sorry.
It probably is.
Nice.
All right. Well, yeah. Send the file. I'll help you out.
Also, Clark, if you could send me like 20 seconds of your finest singing, that would be great for the jingle.
What do you want me to sing?
Oh, any French will do.
Any French? I don't know any French stuff. I'll sing the national anthem.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? That's a good start.
Can I not sing God Save the Queen?
Sure, that's fine. Yeah.
Not the
I'll do
national
that.
anthem of France.
Nice.
All right, guys. Let's leave it at that. Until next time.
See you later.
Good catching up with you guys.